What up, everybody? That scared the shit out of me. This is the Sound of Violence podcast recap of UFC Fight Night 128, Barboza versus Lee. That was me opening a Mission Hard root beer, which evidently was carbonated to all hell. And I am here, I'm Pulver, I'm here with my co-host, Chris Madaffer. What up, dude? That was a startling-ass intro. That really caught me off guard.
I thought for a second you were, like, drinking a barley wine or something, like, with a cork or something like that.
Yeah, no, that shit just, like, flew off of this fucking thing. I wonder how long this has been fermenting in the bottle. Anyway, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking Mother Earth. It's an IPA. It's called, Kismet IPA. It's really good, real solid, real smooth.
Nice. Yeah, I normally only know them from the Cali Creamin' and stuff. So.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of nice to try something different, but I'm digging it.
For sure. We should say that this is our second start to this episode since fucking Audacity fucked up on me like 5 minutes into this, so we are kicking it over again. But this is going to be our recap show. If you guys don't know, at the end of every week, generally on Friday nights, we put out an episode where we let you know the MMA podcast you should catch, skip, and can't miss, and just kind of talk about all that shit. But since there's no card this weekend, and we're going to be doing that commentary with girlfriend Karen of the Kickboxer 2 or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it's like the sequel to the reboot.
Yeah, that thing's going to be a mess, I bet. But we will figure we would do a recap show, and we'll also briefly talk a little bit about Bellator 198, Fedor versus Mir this weekend. But why don't we jump right into the card from this weekend? It was a pretty fun card. It wasn't quite as wild as the week before, but not much could be.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed this card all around. I thought it was it was great. It was just a great card. I mean, just simply put.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The fight night pacing was fucking killing me is the only thing. Like after a stoppage, having 20 minutes of just commercials and bullshit is real draining.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Like with some of those early finishes. I remember my brother Kyle was actually here hanging out with me all day. We watched the fights together. And someone got finished like real early, and I'm like, "No, dude, it's okay. It's gonna be like 30 more minutes." We went up and picked up food, and by the time we got back, it was Sherman versus Willis. Like, hell yeah! They're like literally like just touching gloves.
Yeah, right after that Dave Branch finish. Yeah, that was one of the worst ones. Where you're like, Jesus, this is never gonna start again. But yeah, fun card overall. We'll start from the top. Kevin Lee took on Edson Barboza, and oh boy, did he! This looked real familiar.
It did. Basically, they might as well have put one of those sheep hats on Lee in the post-fight interview.
Yeah,
but
I don't think they call them sheep hats.
I know. I can't remember the name. It's called like a pashmakat or something like that.
Papushka? Something like that?
Something like that.
Babushka? I'm just going to start saying racist shit eventually if we keep going down this road. Me trying to guess whatever weird fucking word I don't know. So we'll move on.
Just call it Baba Ganoush shit.
Yeah, it was hashtag Kevin Lee time all the entire time this weekend. Aside from like 10 seconds in the third round, but Kevin Lee looked on fire in this fight. He got the early takedown and was almost immediately in mount beating the shit out of Barboza in this, and just kind of was wash and repeat over and over again after that. He really showed some solid boxing too.
Yeah, dude, like some of it was just hearing the sounds of some of his elbows connecting when he just had top mount. Jesus.
That knee hit that nasty fucking body kick that like crippled Barboza because it was as Barboza circling right into it. He slammed him with that right body kick. It was nasty.
Yeah, this is his best performance to date, 100%. Especially against such a dangerous opponent like Barboza.
Yeah, I would say so.
The unfortunate thing now for Barboza is where he goes. I don't know who you match him up against. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think about who is in the bottom half of that division, and who hasn't Barboza fought is the harder question.
Yeah, let me see.
Barboza fought fucking everybody.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and pull up the old reliable UFC official rankings, of course.
Yeah, the most legit, as told to us by the...
Yeah, the one that still has GSP as like number 2 ranked pound for pound.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, so the lightweight division at the bottom, Who can Barboza fight? He was, at the time, or now he's number 6. Kevin Lee. Him and Kevin Lee switched spots. So, Justin Gaethje's an option, even though theoretically I don't think they want Gaethje to keep fighting someone above him at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I wouldn't watch. I mean, I'll watch anything Justin Gaethje's involved in. Nate Diaz would be an interesting fight.
Nate is never going to take that fight because
he'd get his legs kicked off.
It wouldn't even be fun, and he knows how stupid that fight would be. Plus, he's sitting out for a BK fight anyway.
Yeah. Michael Chiesa, I think he would get murdered.
I think Chiesa. Who was Chiesa supposed to fight?
You mean next? Fuck.
No, who was he supposed to fight before his face got all fucked up at 223?
Oh. Anthony
remember.
Pettis.
Yeah. Oh, Pettis and Barboza fought, right?
Yeah, long ass time ago.
So, dude, I don't hate Barboza versus Chiesa.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight.
Chiesa's not going to just sit on top. Well, he will get his back. But Chiesa's not nearly as good at takedowns.
How about
and
this?
Holding top position.
How about Lee versus Al Quinta? Or not Lee, I mean Barboza.
I don't think you can give him another Ally Quinta, like another top control wrestler who's going to beat on him the entire time. I think that's fucked up to do at this point.
Because I know, right?
You just keep feeding him the same style matchup that is clearly not good for him over and over. It's not going to be good. You need to give him a fun fight that he is competitive in. I think Chiesa would be more of
by
that.
the way, did you see that they moved Paul Felder into the top 15? Because we were complaining about that.
That happened almost immediately. That happened the weekend after he wasn't allowed to fight. Because
I wasn't
he
paying
in the
attention then.
rankings.
Yeah,
but
it
was real dumb.
Yeah, he's number 14. He wants James Vick.
Yeah, which that'd be a fun fight.
Anyways,
Vic doesn't want that. Probably.
I think realistically they'll do Barboza versus Chiesa or maybe James Vick. They'll probably do him against James Vick. I don't fucking know.
That'd be interesting. Either one of those, I would be a big fan of.
That's the state of the lightweight division is pretty. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's absolutely stacked for sure. I mean, it always has been ever since the Jens Pulver, BJ Penn, Cowlino days. Fucking Dean Thomas, Eve Edwards. That's always been stacked division ever since back then. Ever since UFC cut it and told everyone to fuck off in under 205 or whatever. But speaking of matchups, I heard someone suggest Kevin Lee takes on Eddie Alvarez next, and I really like that matchup because I feel like Poirier has the most right to a title shot at this point.
I believe so. I agree with that, and I love that matchup.
Since Eddie caused that no contest, and Poirier's coming off the more recent win over the same dude that Alvarez won over. I think Kevin Lee versus Eddie Alvarez would be fun as hell.
Yeah, I'm all for that fight. I hope it happens.
Yeah, coming off of this fight though, I might have trouble not picking against Kevin Lee.
Oh no, I am picking honestly Kevin Lee in probably most of his fights against the top 4. I mean Khabib would be a tough match. Well,
I think he's a tough matchup for everyone.
Yeah,
on the top of that
he really
division.
is. He's probably the most well-rounded lightweight.
I would say so. So it'll be interesting to see what's next for that.
I think he's future champion since he's only going to turn 26 this year.
Yeah,
you can only get better realistically. I mean, come on.
And he's been looking better and better, especially with his cardio holding up as well as it did.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't make weight, we should also fucking point out, since that was a huge goddamn issue. And we did curse this card because we recorded on Wednesday rather than a Friday. So, that was one of a couple fucking rough weigh-in issues, but we'll get to that in a bit.
So speaking of which, what did you think of the co-main event? Me and you both had Swanson by knockout because Edgar was booked to fight basically 2 months after he got finished by Ortega. Yep. The way this went would have been, and I think you would agree with me, we both would have picked Edgar if this fight would have happened a month and a half from now.
Yeah, 100%. Even a month from now.
Yeah.
I would have picked him. Even in mid-May, I would have picked him. It was just way too quick a turnaround. Stylistically, I mean, Frankie Edgar's real solid, and he kind of seems like he has Cub Swanson's number, which I think a lot of people knew going into this. It scares me when dudes fight that close back to back, and Frankie Edgar says a lot of stuff like, I haven't been concussed prior to that knockout, and stuff like that. Dude makes me nervous sometimes. But super impressive performance. He dominated Cub. The only thing Cub did do real well is he went 9 for 9 on takedown defense, I think.
I think you're right, yeah. Yeah.
Which is wild.
That's impressive.
Yeah. But, man, Frankie Edgar looked sharp on the feet.
He did.
Speaking of looking sharp on the feet, see what I did there?
Yeah,
Justin Willis took on Chase Sherman.
This was a good, bad fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is MMA Depressed Us, good, bad fight written all over it.
We both picked Willis, by the way, right? Like, by decision? I think we did, because we thought he was going to wrestle him the whole time. Did anyone get taken down? I literally don't even remember. I just remember them kind of just fucking throwing hands and, like, the final round just stand and bang, but...
Yep, it was mostly just that. It was mostly standing and banging. The first round was when Willis just clobbered him for the most of the first round. I gave it a 10-8. He was just beating the shit out of Chase Sherman, who refused to move his head ever. He would just never take his head offline, especially when throwing. So he would just get pieced up with like 4-punch combinations until Willis nearly died of exhaustion.
Yeah.
And then Willis was able to work a little bit of a top game and stuff like that. But, man, yeah. I mean, it was some heavyweight shit. When you hear heavyweight decision, should give you a good cue as to what
it's a good, yeah, like. It's definitely a good indication of what went down.
Definitely. And then I think I had Kevin Lee by TKO. You had him by, I had him by sub. You had him by decision. So we were both close on that one.
As far as the main event, right?
Yeah. And then for Kevin Lee, and then for Edgar versus Cub Swanson, I think we both had Cub by TKO. Obviously, Frankie got that decision. David Branch, holy shit.
Yeah. We both picked Branch, right? By decision? Or sub?
We both had him by decision because that's
okay.
Up until now, that was what you picked for David Branch fights, was decision or ground and pound TKO.
Yeah. Did he catch Santos? Was it with the left hook? Or left straight?
I believe it was a right hook. So he basically was walking him down to the fence. He had a lot of not a lot, but a handful of those low leg kicks. It was really slowing down Branch's movement a bit. And then Branch started walking him down, cutting off the cage. Santos goes to throw a giant, wide, sweeping right or a left hook, and as he starts throwing it, David Branch just crashes in with a short right hook, right on the button, and sends him down, and then hits him with a couple hammer fists to put him out, and then the ref belly flops on top of Thiago Santos trying to separate him. Or wait, was that the other fight where the ref belly flopped on top of him?
I can't. Yeah, I don't remember seeing a ref belly flop on someone.
He definitely did. I just don't remember who it was. I want to say it was Dave Branch. I want to say that's
it might have been. Yeah. Either way, solid fucking victory. Especially a first round knockout, man. That's impressive. Whatever weight class you're in, especially against such a fucking banger like Thiago Santos.
Absolutely, and for a dude who's been known to have a bunch of grindy wins and is a Henzo black belt, that's a big fucking statement for that division, especially coming off of 2 losses?
I think it was just the Rockhold. I think it's just the Rockhold.
Right, because he had a win over somebody before that.
Let me see right now. So Branch is number 8. Above him is Brunson, Bisping, who I don't even think he'll fight again. I don't know.
Oh, right, he had the win over Jocko before that.
That's right. Then in the top 5 is Gastelum, Weidman, Rockhold, Jacare, Yoel, and then of course Whitaker, the champion.
All those dudes are matched up, right?
What's up?
Weidman did you see Weidman's ranked 3rd?
He's 4.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
When was the last time Weidman fought?
He submitted Gastelum about 6 months ago. I think it was. He's been.
That was only 6 months ago.
I think it was it was. I think, or maybe it's more than that.
It feels like a year ago.
It might be a year already. I don't know. All I know is that Weidman's been out due to injury. He's been rehabbing he had a major surgery on his hand or something like that.
Yeah, it's 2, I believe. He just had another one.
Yeah, Rockhold is number 3, but I think Rockhold's basically moving out of the division.
Yeah.
At this point.
That's going to be a weird one. I mean, you could realistically put him in anybody in the top 10.
Yeah, at this point, I just think you have Branch fight Brunson. Because I don't think Bisping's going to... I just don't think he's going to fight anymore. He's kind of comfy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that's a smart fight to make.
You just do Brunson because Gaslam's already fighting Jacare in a couple of weeks, I think. Yeah, 224. Yeah, Rockhold's gone. Romero's
that's a good test to see where both those dudes are at right now.
Yeah. So, we'll see.
That's not going to be an easy takedown, at least not for the first round.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The middleweight division is still very interesting as well. So... Especially
it can be interesting.
It can be, yes.
That division also still has Shogun towards the top of it. Remember
that was 205, but I know who you're talking about. You're thinking
right. God,
you're thinking of older guys like Lyoto Machida, fucking Vitor.
Yeah.
Vitor is not the number 9 middleweight in the world. I don't give a fuck what you say.
They say he's number 9.
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
Oh God.
Number 10 is Brad Tavares. Number 11 is. Number 11 is Uriah Hall. 12 is Lyoto Machida. 13 is Thiago Santos. Tied for 13 is Thiago Santos and Shoeface. Because they couldn't make their mind.
Well, I know who gets 13 now.
Yeah, and then 15 is Paulo Costa. So.
Yeah. That checks out.
That division,
let's
honestly...
stop talking about middleweight.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's depressing division to talk about because, like, the top part is competitive, like lightweight, but then the other half is kind of like 205 where it's not competitive at all. So
yeah, 85 and 205 are both real sad to talk about.
Anyways, Justin Willis, Chase Sherman, that went how we basically thought it would go, except opposite. Yeah. We thought it would go via takedowns, but...
Yeah, we had Willis by decision. And he won
no, we were just talking about David Branch. See, I'm already backtracking like an idiot.
David Branch we had by decision. He got the knockout. So and then Brett Johns versus Aljo.
Yeah, I was a little too high on Johns, barring he had a 15-0 record, and he looked great.
Everybody kind of was, because especially when he fucking caught the calf slicer on Joe Soto, I was like, oh, shit.
And he did attempt a calf slicer on Sterling. He almost got it, too.
Sterling was not having any part of that shit, though.
I have to say, this is one of Sterling's best performances yet. His movement was fantastic. He was off the center line pretty much the whole time. Johns has a hell of a fucking chin, though. I just got to give him that.
Absolutely. And, Sterling came after him in that second round.
Yeah, he was trying to finish Johns.
Which was cool to see, because you haven't really seen that Aljo Sterling in a long time. Like, he's been the outside, I'm just going to kind of flick kicks at you, Elias Theodoro style, and hit you with heavy shit until you just try and crash the distance, and I'll hit you with a double or outside single. But in this fight, he was just kind of in there to scrap and win all the scrambles. And there was some fucking scrambles, but Aljo looked great.
Yeah, great. Let me look at the bantamweight divisions. Because I kind of like doing this for like some of these guys that are kind of just up there, or like
definitely, especially with guys like Aljo.
Let's see.
Puts him back in contention in a way.
So he's number 8. I don't think he moved. I think he's staying put. So realistically, since you already have Rivera number 4 versus going up against Marlon Moraes number 5, they're not going to want to do a rematch between Sterling and Assunção, because honestly that fight was pretty boring. It was like and Assunção squeaked out a split decision victory. So all you can really do is have Sterling fight John Dodson or John Lineker.
I think John Dodson is the fight to make.
Yeah. I know Sterling called out Dominic Cruz at the end of the
Cruz I don't think Cruz wants that fight because it doesn't do anything for him.
I think realistically Cruz is either going to wait to see if he can fight the winner of Dillashaw Garbrandt, which isn't a bad idea, if they'll give him that, or he'll just fight Assunção, because Assunção really wants to fight Dominic Cruz, like badly. Yeah,
and Assunção is like high enough up in the division that...
He's 3. He's right below Cruz.
So it would give Cruz a reason to be backing title contention.
Yeah, he'll be like, I beat the number 3, so give me my shot.
Yeah, and literally, like, one of the next two is going to lose soon, so it definitely puts him up there. I think the way to go for Aljo is give him Dodson. I think that'll be a fun fight and a weird, bouncy fight. There's going to be a lot of movement in that one.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see how much bigger Aljo's size plays into that, because Aljo's big.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting. Let's see. Before that, we had Daniel Hooker versus Jim Miller in what might be the most depressing fight on this card. In a
I was
card
sad.
with a couple
I was
depressing
explaining
fights.
this. Yeah, I was explaining this to Kyle. Basically, how much of a pioneer Jim Miller is to like the tri-state
Hooker's
area.
so much bigger. Yeah, Miller was the one of the dudes out there. Him and his brother.
Yeah. This is sad to see, and I know, who was it, Felder or Fitzgerald kind of pointed out, like, hey man, that second shot wasn't necessarily the ref could have been there, but as they were calling him Reddit, Refner, just I guess was a little slow, ended up preventing that second blow, but it was instinctive.
Oh no,
Hooker.
wait, you know what? Now that you say that, this was the fight. It was Refner that fell on top of Jim Miller.
Yeah.
That's what it was. No, maybe it wasn't. I think Refner was
No,
the
he
one
did.
who.
No, he did.
Was it this fight that he fell on top of him?
Yeah, he fell right
I was
on
mixing this up with the other one, but yeah, I remember him fucking semi-kicking a down fighter on accident and then falling on top of them.
Yeah, he tripped.
In a
Hooker
Oompa
fucking
Loompa-esque
blasted
manner.
him. Hooker blasted him fucking Hendo style on fucking Bisping, and then Refner was like, oh fuck, he tripped and fell on him, just stomach first on him. I was like, oh fuck. I mean, he's waving his arms, the fight was over.
But still.
Yeah.
But yeah, Daniel Hooker looked real good. One thing I forgot about when previewing this fight is that Jim Miller is southpaw and Hooker's orthodox.
Ooh.
So that just opened up the entire fight. It opened up that lead leg kick, the body kick, and the right hand, and he just kept working those and walking Jim Miller down. Jim Miller did get one takedown in this fight, but wasn't able to hold position. And after that, Hooker kind of just backed him up to the cage and fucking did his best Darren Till impression.
Yeah, pretty much.
Up until he hit the knee, which how does somebody get that clean of knee knockouts back to back like that? That dude's Muay Thai knees are his knees in space are crazy.
Yeah, I know his last fight, he submitted Diakaze, which he was a big underdog in.
Yeah, via guillotine, I want to say.
It was a guillotine, yeah.
And then he hit that knee on Ross Pearson that fucking.
That's what you're
flattened
thinking
Ross
of, yeah.
Pearson.
So he has 2 knees in the last 3 fights, which is still impressive.
Crazy. So, yeah, that dude. I'm excited to see whoever he faces next in the 155 division. That'll be a fun fight for anybody.
It's gonna be fun as shit, for sure.
Yeah, that dude's a real young talent in that division, so that'll be cool. Plus, it's entertaining as hell, so should be fun. Speaking of entertaining as hell, this next fight was pretty rough. I don't know. So you had Hooker actually in the last fight via decision. I had Miller via decision, and we know how that one went. In this fight, we both had Alex Garcia. Now, I don't know how we didn't see Ryan LaFleur out wrestling the shit out of him happening.
Yeah, I think I was anticipating Garcia catching him with some shit on the feet.
Yeah, I mean, you did have him by decision, but yes.
Yeah. Huh.
I think you had him, catching him early, and then Ryan LaFleur coming back, if I remember right. And then I had Garcia via KO or TKO because I thought he would clip LaFleur. But, yeah, no. It was just LaFleur constantly putting him against the fence and taking him down. I believe there was this fight where he just kept hitting mat returns?
Yeah, it was Matt returns.
Slamming, dude.
It was Matt returns, yeah. That's what it was.
Pretty impressive for sure. So, shouts out to Ryan LaFleur getting back in the mix, and
yeah, good win for him for sure. Solid victory.
Definitely.
It's gonna keep him in there.
Ricky Simone, evidently, as they called him on the broadcast.
Yeah, they
I
called
thought
him
it was
Simone.
Simon, but evidently it's Simone. Whenever it's not John Anik, I always question it, but I think Felder does his homework. He took on Merab Dvalishvili, and oh boy, this fight. So Merab definitely. Do you have Merab taking the first 2 rounds?
Yeah, if I recall, this is a weird fight because all I remember is the way that shit ended.
I know, yeah. So I had Merab taking the first 2 rounds. It was just a crazy pace where Merab was running at him, throwing combos the entire time, and Ricky Simon was still being competitive, but clearly getting out wrestled and just kind of getting bombed on. I mean, he was still throwing back and stuff, and he'd get into scrambles and he'd hold his own, but he was just getting outworked for a lot of the first 2 rounds. Third round was a little bit more the same, and then Merab goes for a takedown and ends up essentially getting DDT'd, kinda. Slams his head into the mat, goes nearly out, and then Ricky Simone steps over and he catches a guillotine. He steps over in the mount and catches a guillotine, right?
Yeah, that's what it was.
I believe that's how that went. And then from there, Merab is just squirming and like fighting the choke at first. Then you think he's out, but then he starts kicking his legs, but his arms are limp.
Yeah,
then his arms come back and maybe try and fight, but then they go limp again.
So were his legs
kicking his legs the entire
were his legs
time.
like on autopilot?
So I'm pretty convinced Merab went out at least once during this sequence, maybe twice, because there's moments in this sequence where his arms just go fucking limp. Like his feet are still moving, but his arms, like he's clearly moving his arms and fighting, and then they just go dead limp. And that happened like 2 times. And I'm guessing, it's hard to really tell. It looks like Ricky readjusts, and that's when Merab catches a tiny bit of blood or air or anything back into his head and is able to like barely move again, and then goes out again and then barely moves again. So the bell rings, the ref steps over and like kind of waves it off.
Yeah, it was such... Okay, like, initially, me and my brother were both like, whoa, what the fuck was that? Didn't he get saved by the horn? And then we were like, oh, this dude was out.
Yeah, so I thought he was out. I thought the ref should have stopped it. Then the bell rings, so I go, oh, okay. Well, he clearly wasn't out, I guess. And then there's all the weird controversy. You see Mark Goddard yelling at officials and Bruce Buffer out in the audience as the cage side ref, and then Bruce Buffer reads it a TKO.
Yeah.
Which, like, no matter what happened in this, that's not a TKO. It can be a technical submission. That's a thing. I've seen like 2 of them.
What do they call it? A TSO?
I think it's just referred to as a technical sub. That's like what you would call when Frank Mir broke Tim Sylvia's arm.
Oh yeah.
When Herb Dean stopped that because he saw the arm break, that was a technical sub. Because he saw the arm break, so I believe it was ruled a technical submission via armbar. I believe, and all the record keeper stuff is all done differently. So, like, I'm sure Sherdog lists it differently than Tapology than the UG, but whatever. Anyway, that was weird, and then. There was a fight in Invicta that a couple people have talked about where the girl was out, but still won the decision because the ref didn't call it before the bell.
Oh yeah,
but that
girl
showed
me that fight one time.
That girl was out though. Like that girl was snoring on the mat for like 30 seconds after the fight.
Ooh.
That's a little different. This one, Merab at least was like up almost immediately. Like the other one, that girl was out for a while on the mat. Or at least like was not coming to for like a good 10-15 seconds, like, and not like how Merab was like moving but not quite coming to. This girl was just out like snoring for like 10-15 seconds after. So that was while I understand the comparison, not my favorite comparison. Ricky Simon did catch a hell of a fucking guillotine, and I don't know, man. I heard they're trying to run it back, and I would absolutely like to see that because it was a really close, fun fight. Merab definitely won the first 2 rounds. He was probably on his way to winning the third if he didn't DDT himself and then get put in a choke. But it was still a fun fight. I'd watch it again.
I would too, man. That'd be fun if they ran it back.
Agreed. Cool. Well, what do we have next? Right, we have CR Bahadurzada, right?
Yeah, Afghanistan, CR Bahadurzada versus Brazil's Luan Chagas. If I remember this, was Chagas had his back in the first round, right? And he was trying to slip a rear naked, but just couldn't get it under the chin?
Yeah, CR was banged him up with a couple shots in the first, and then I believe clipped Luan Chagas. Luan Chagas ended up on bottom. because CR got into his guard, and eventually Juan Chagas in a scramble worked and took his back with, like, I want to say 2 minutes or so left, and was working for RNCs and kind of banging on him. So that first round was pretty close. I'd have to watch it again to know who I gave it to, because it kind of could have gone either way depending on how you weight stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go check, like, the time frames of actually how long Juan Chagas had his back and how many shots he landed and all that. But it was definitely close. I had the feeling, at least coming into the second, that I thought Juan Chagas was going to kind of bring it to Siyar Bahadurzada. Meanwhile, Siyar Bahadurzada steps out there throwing fucking haymakers from his hips and just starts banging on Juan Chagas.
Yeah, man, that fucking kick to the liver, which crumpled him against the fence.
Dude.
And finishing him off
with the uppercut on the way down.
God damn.
It's the craziest shit.
I remember Blake saw that too, because he was like here before he like left. And I was like, dude, look at this replay real quick. And it's just like, fuck.
Yeah, it was like almost a front kick, because it's one of those kicks where he digs his toes in.
Yeah, the teep kicks, where you dig it in between the ribs.
Except it was like at almost it was at like a 45-degree angle though.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, but he just crushed that thing.
Yeah, shouts out to the kickboxer, though, Bahadurzada, man.
Absolutely. Hits that, and then as dude turns, bangs him with the uppercut and puts him out cold, which was cold-blooded. Oh, man, that was a super crazy finish. So, let's see more of that dude. I'd like to see him fight more often than once every 3 years.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'm down with that.
Yeah. Speaking of another slugfest, Corey Anderson and Pat Cummins went to decision somehow.
Yeah, and Anderson out-wrestled Pat Cummins. That was interesting.
He absolutely out-wrestled him. He outboxed the shit out of him, too.
He sure did.
Corey Anderson looked great in this.
Yeah, I almost thought he was going to finish it, and I think it was the first.
Yeah, I thought he was going to finish it in the first, which I had him on fantasy, and I was like, fucking come on, but not quite. Speaking of which, I was going to say we should officially give props to yourself and myself for getting into the Underground Mag War League finals, since we both made it in that, and I also made it in the MMA community Mag War finals.
Wait, what do you mean finals? Like, how do the playoffs work?
Or playoffs, I should say.
Oh, yeah, I was confused. I'm like, wait, did we just leapfrog everyone? It's just me versus you?
I mean, basically, let's be honest. It's always been me versus you. That's always what this was about.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I snuck into the MMA community one with the highest points that didn't win a quarter. It was like, it was pretty close, so I snuck in on the tail end of that one. But, yeah, so we'll be talking more about that in the future, because that is going to be pretty crazy, I have a feeling. But anyway, Corey Anderson, I had him on my Mag War team, and I was hoping he was going to get that first round finish. Couldn't quite pull it out, but he did definitely. I gave him a 10-8 that first round, and then I also gave him the second, and I don't remember who I gave the third. I think I gave that to Corey also. I just remember him outworking Pat Cummins, and Pat Cummins being busted up after that first round.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I thought it was a pretty clear 30-27 all the way around.
Yeah. Let's see. And then we were at one point supposed to have Aspen Ladd versus Leslie Smith. But of course, the UFC completely fucked over Leslie Smith. Actually, Aspen Ladd fucked over Leslie Smith, and the UFC fucked over Leslie Smith, in that they paid her show and win money, and since that was the last fight on the contract, they told her, that counts as your last fight, we're not interested in renewing your contract. So, Leslie Smith is evidently no longer a UFC fighter at this time, which is a huge fucking bummer. As you guys know, you can tell by our show art, we are huge fucking Leslie Smith fans, and big fans of what she's doing with Project Spearhead and all that. So, clearly a shot from Endeavor and the UFC at Leslie Smith by not re-signing her on a 2-fight win streak when her opponent blows weight.
Yeah, it's a shame that they went that route, but not surprising, unfortunately.
Yeah, especially after she said what she did at the athlete retreat, and where she asked Kobe Bryant whether a union or an association was helpful to the NBA. Evidently, Ari Emanuel, the owner of Endeavor, or like the head of Endeavor, was in the back and real not happy about that shit. So, That's a bummer. And shouts out to Cajun Johnson fighting Islam Makhachev, which seems like an attack on Cajun Johnson. But we'll see.
Yep.
All right, and then the only other fight on the card was Tony Martin took on Kita Nakamura. I think that's how you say his name, right? Is it Kaita or Kita?
I think it's Kita. And by the way, I missed this fight, unfortunately.
Tony Martin looked fucking good.
I was delayed in turning it on Fight Pass. I think I caught when they were announcing the decision. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. So, I mean, mostly you just missed Tony Martin piecing up Kita Nakamura with like 2 3-punch combinations over and over again throughout the fight. Okay. Kita Nakamura kept trying to throw like a long straight, I want to say it was a right. I don't remember whether he's orthodox or not. And Tony Martin just kept pulling and then throwing like a 2 or 3-punch combination off of it and banging Kita up. And it was just that over and over again, basically. It looked really sharp, good movement, and definitely excited to see him again. I think I gave that 30-26 to Tony Martin because I think I gave him, I forget which one of the rounds, a 10-8, just because of how many times he was just wobbling the shit out of Kita. So, good fun fight, though, and I'm definitely excited to see that dude fight again soon.
Hell yeah, man. Good stuff. And good card all around.
Cool. Well, yeah, I agree. And it's going to be weird. We have 2 weeks without a UFC card.
Isn't it 3?
It might be 3. I know that, what's the 12th, right?
Let me see.
I believe the next card is
the 12th.
On the 12th, right.
So that's
not 2 weeks.
That's basically off. 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah. So this weekend, like we said, we're going to be doing the Kickboxer Retaliation commentary with girlfriend Karen. Next weekend, we will probably take off, but we will probably talk some Invicta and maybe do a Bellator recap show or something early next week. We'll figure out how that goes. But I did want to cover this weekend, even though there is not a UFC card. I mean, yeah, sorry, all mixed up. Since there's not fucking too many events. Since there's not a UFC card this weekend, I did want to take a look briefly at the Bellator 198 card, which is Fedor vs. Mir.
Okay, right on.
Especially since we were doing the Monsters Pick'em championship over on the MMA community site.
That's
There's
right.
a link in the description for the show if you guys want to join in. Chris, you are officially, I believe, not in last place anymore.
Cool.
I think there's one person lower than you, I'm pretty sure.
That's nice.
Or, well, wait, no, you might still be in last place.
Probably still last.
You're definitely not in last place for this last event. I think there was 2 people who didn't fill out picks, so you at least did that well.
There we go.
But we will go ahead and give our picks briefly on this one. I know you like me, don't follow a lot of Bellator, especially undercard Bellator, which there's some undercard Bellator up in this thing. We're only going to take a look at the main card, starting with Dylan Dennis, unfortunately. So, Dylan Dennis is taking on Kyle Walker. Dylan Dennis, of course, you guys know from his illustrious 0-0-0 MMA record. He's fighting out of Marcelo Garcia's, although is he still at Marcelo's?
Dude, I have no idea.
I thought
he got kicked out.
I did too. And
I gotta ask my godbrother Jordan.
Yeah, definitely. Since that dude actually does train there, but this we're looking at Tapology, and Tapology does not update that type of shit. So, quite possible that he's not with them anymore, which I believe is correct. But his only credit is a Metamoris win over Joe Lozon in grappling. I mean, of course, he's got a bunch of credits in jiu-jitsu competitions, stuff like ADCC, and...
What degree black belt is he?
I don't know, dude. I'm so bad at that shit.
Yeah.
I could not tell you off the top of my head. Plus, I generally dislike Dylan Dennis.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't like the guy either.
Trying to read or see much of anything about him.
Yeah.
But he is taking on Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker is 2-4 in MMA. He's had fights in King of the Cage and... Wow, Three River Throwdown. I'm guessing that took place at the Three Rivers Casino. And then some Shamrock FC. And, Missouri Regional. There's a fun one. Oh, boy. So basically just some dude
To be fair, he's top 50 in the Kansas, Missouri area.
I don't. What? Can you give me any relevance as to what that means?
Yeah, no, that's how I'm just I don't know either. I'm just saying
I don't know anything
yeah.
about what that means.
To be fair, speaking of middleweights, the guy above him, John Salter, is number 37 worldwide, which means something.
Yeah. Oh God. I'll let you start on the pick on this one because I'm really undecided.
I have no idea.
I've never seen any of these dudes fight, so.
I think I'm gonna go with Dylan Dennis only because they want this guy to win, so they're probably gonna just pick someone to fight him that is terrible on the ground. And I think you're just gonna see Dennis try to take him to the ground and he'll just choke him out. That's literally the only reason why I would go with Dennis, because they want to set him up for success. You know what I mean? Not calling this Kyle Walker guy. Can he knock the fuck out Dennis? Yeah, probably. But I've never seen him fight, so I have no idea. So I gotta go with Dennis.
Yeah. I'm gonna fuck. I guess I'm gonna go Dennis too. This guy hasn't had a win since 2013, and his losses have come 2 via submission, 1 via knockout, because of a knee. No, you know what? I'm not picking. I don't want to pick Dylan Dennis. I'm gonna pick Kyle Walker.
Via knockout.
Yeah, sure. No, via boring ass decision.
Yeah.
It's gonna look like the fucking. Ugh. Yeah, I guess I'm going Walker via.
What's the under over on Dennis' striking looking as good as Cindy Dandois?
What's the over under on in his striking looking like Cindy Dandois and Artem Lobov had a kid?
Yeah, I think that's it. That's the right call.
I'm guessing you're going Dennis via sub?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the smart pick. I just can't stand Dylan Dennis.
Well, neither can
Although,
I.
To be fair, I kind of do want him to win so he can fight Jake Smith, and Jake Smith can fucking smash a dude.
Oh, yeah.
Jake Smith has been coming after Dylan Dennis on Twitter in a way that cracks me up. All right, up next we got Rafael Lovato Jr. taking on John Salter. Jesus
Salter.
Christ, that text
John
is way
Saylor.
too small. That text is way too fucking small from where I'm sitting. Anyway, so they were supposed to fight, I believe, Bellator 196. Nope, never mind. That's the one that's coming up. His last fight, sorry, I can barely read this shit from where I'm sitting. Rafael Lovato Jr.'s last fight was against Chris Honeycutt, where he got the win back in Bellator 189. And then before that, he had a win over Mike Rhodes via sub. And that was back at 181 in July. And then John Salter is coming off of the win over Jason Ratcliffe at Bellator 188, I think that says. Lahat versus Labiano? Jesus Christ. These are some of these fucking cards that are over in the middle of Italy and on tape delay, and I can't fucking be bothered to deal with.
Non sta bene.
It drives me fucking nuts, Bellator's tape delay bullshit. Drives me goddamn nuts. Before that, he had a win over Kendall Grove and a win over Claudio. I'm not even going to make a shot at that last name. Some Italian dude when the card was in Italy. Yeah. So take that for what it's worth.
Claudio Anicarico. I don't know how to say it. What is this? Oh. Anika Rico. Yeah.
Sure. Nailed it. So which way are you leaning on this one? I'm guessing you've never seen either one of these dudes fight?
No, I'm going to go Salter, though. If you're number 37 world fucking wide, I know Rafael Lovato is 52. I don't know how much merit those rankings get, but I'm definitely more impressed by Salter's resume, so I got to go with him. I think it's going to go decision. He clearly has some good submission and some good submission defense, even if he's fighting a Gracie.
True. I'm going to go...
Or not Gracie. I'm thinking of Neiman Gracie above that.
Yeah. I know what you meant, though. A high-level jiu-jitsu player. I'm going Rafael Lovato Jr. via decision. Because I see... he coming off a win over Chris Honeycutt is a big fucking statement. Yep. And Rafael Lovato Jr., I think, probably gets it done just by outworking and outstriking John Salter. But then again, I've seen these dudes fight like maybe 3 times, and it's always on tape delay while I'm doing something else. So, Bellator fucking hates its audience. So, actually, that's not true. Bellator likes its audience. Paramount Network, or the Cops Network, as it still is. Don't let them fool you by the name change. I made a joke about it being the Cops Network. Then I was like, you know what? That's not fair. I know they still play Cops, but it's probably not all the time. Then I pulled up their schedule. It was 8 in the morning. They were playing Cops at the time that I made that joke. So
there you go.
I was like, oh, okay, I feel super
It checks
justified at this point. Yeah. And what did you have Salter by?
Decision.
Okay. Cool. So up next we got Neiman Gracie taking on
Javier Torres.
Yeah, you want to take this one?
Yeah, so we have Neiman Gracie right here. He's, of course, training. He's, well, part of the Gracie clan, or whatever you want to call it. Training out of Renzo Gracie Academy in New York City. He's a professional record of 7 wins, 0 losses. His last win came at Bellator 185. He had a head submission victory over Zach Buccia. Before that, he had a choke submission victory over Dave Morfone. An arm lock submission. You get the picture. This guy can submit you in a lot of different ways. He's going up against Mexico's Javier Torres. Torres is primarily a striker. If I were to guess, since he's fighting out of Mexico, he's probably a kickboxer or a Muay Thai guy. Based on his wins, his last win was a decision victory over Mexico's Julio Cruz at Extreme Combat 32. Before they
That's right. This was the fight that was supposed to happen on a previous Bellator. It was 185.
185, yeah. So they rebooked it. So, yeah, I don't. Generally, I always go with the grappler over a striker. I don't know Neiman Gracie's striking defense. The fact that he has a bunch of victories over a bunch of Americans. Not saying that all Americans don't know BJJ, because there's plenty of great BJJ practitioners that are American. I think I'm going with Gracie on this one, though. Torres, just looking at his record, I don't really see any submission victories. He does, I think, have a loss or 2 to submission. And if you're going against a Gracie, you're either going to knock him out quick or you're going to be on your back the whole time. So I got to go with Gracie. And plus, Torres' birthday and his last name is Nzunza, and I had a teacher in high school, Mr. Nzunza, and he was kind of a dick. He wasn't a dick, he was just weird. So I'm going Gracie. I know there's no real actual logical explanation in that, but fuck
it makes as much sense as anything else, right?
Yeah,
Why not? What method?
Sub, for sure.
I am also going to go Gracie via sub. I would not be surprised by a decision.
Yeah.
But I am going to go sub just because dude's had a long time off. Salter hasn't fought since 2016. May of 2016. So he's been out longer than fucking Conor McGregor, if you want some perspective, or Ronda Rousey for that matter. So yeah, I'm gonna go Gracie, but I'm saying sub. It could easily be a decision. I just don't know what to expect from a dude coming out of Extreme Combat who has not fought since 2016. So I'm guessing this is probably a showcase fight for Neiman Gracie based on the looks of it.
I'll say this, though. Speaking of showcase fight, this next fight, Emmanuel Sanchez Matador is fighting against former UFC featherweight Sam Sicilia. Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, this is pretty mature. I'm going with Emmanuel Sanchez. The reason why I'm going with Emmanuel Sanchez is the last fight I saw Sam Sicilia fight, this dude, all he did is he kept his left hand low, basically just barely below his waist, and would just throw fucking overhand rights constantly.
Oh, so you mean every Sam Sicilia fight?
Yeah, I remember we saw him live, and wait, did he?
Did we see him live?
Yeah, he won a decision, a very boring decision.
Oh, he was on the Mir Duffy card.
Yeah. Sam Sicilia, too, according to Reddit, likes to beat the fuck out of random people at bars, and I don't really appreciate that. Because imagine if I was in PB, right, and Sam Sicilia comes up to me and picks on me and punches me in the face. So, that wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, no, definitely would not.
Shouts out, though, to him getting knocked the fuck out by Duo Choi, which I'm going to watch that fight again, actually. That sounds like fun.
It was brutal because it's the worst possible style matchup.
Yeah, by the way, the reason why I'm picking Sanchez is because, according to Tapology, look where he trains at.
Rufus Sport?
Yeah. So I'm going with Sanchez.
As opposed to Sick Jitsu, who said like a year or two ago that leg kicks don't work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm going Sanchez 100%. I don't give a fuck if this is Sam Sicilia's Bellator debut. Yeah, no, I don't like just based on what I've seen from Sicilia fight. I know I've never seen Sanchez fight, but I gotta go with where he trains out here, man. And this is such a Duke Rufus is a fantastic coach, great in preparing his fighters. Look what he helped Woodley do against arguably the most dangerous striker in the welterweight division. Wonder Boy.
Yeah, yeah. Despite Sam coming off the win over Marcus Galvao, which is a good win, I was way more impressed by Sanchez getting the win over Daniel Strauss. That legit caught me off guard. Plus, he does have the win over Marcos Galvao as well, and he has a win over Georgie not Georgie Karakhanyan. Yeah, Georgie Karakhanyan. Dude's just been on fire, and this seems like another case where Bellator is setting up their dude to get a win over a name that people might recognize. So, yeah, I'm gonna go Sanchez. Probably.
I'd probably go with decision.
Yeah, I probably gotta go decision. Sub wouldn't necessarily surprise me, but I'm gonna go decision. It's just something as tough as hell. All right, and then we got one hell of a main event where Angelo Reyes, when I was talking to him, said that the promo was the Rocky IV of MMA promos, which I gotta agree with. It's hilarious.
Yeah. This is an interesting fight. More so in the fact what we've seen from Fedor as of recent, but more also the fact that we haven't seen. Oh, I guess Mir. Yeah, it was 2 years ago, but then again, he's coming off a suspension from USADA. Yeah, last time we saw him, he got walk-off KO'd by Mark Hunt. That was really bad.
Yeah, Mark Hunt kind of does that to dudes, though.
Yeah. Before that, he had a unanimous decision loss to Andre Arlovsky. And then, so he hasn't been consistent in fighting. He fought a bunch in 2015, fought in 2016, and has been gone for 2 years because of suspension. So he probably would have fought more, if he wasn't suspended.
Yeah.
He's an active fighter. He always pretty much has. I know he was hurt after that motorcycle accident. What was it, in 2013?
Yep. Something like that.
Yeah, this is an interesting
Might have been earlier
fight.
than that, actually.
I can't remember. I know you've seen more prime Fedor than I have. How's his sub defense? Probably pretty great.
Incredible.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah.
It was incredible. Well, the only dude who's ever caught him in a sub is Fabricio Verdum.
Yeah, that says something.
I believe, right?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely
because
right.
the other two were knockouts in Strikeforce, and then he, Mabo Babo, and So the only time he got caught with the sub was by Fabricio, which he's Fabricio. So.
Yeah, I'm actually. I don't really know how to. Yeah, you know what?
This is a weird fight to pick. I'm still going back and forth on it. I'll probably be going back and forth on it all week long. I'm just praying that we don't curse this by talking about it this early in the week. Because if fucking Fedor versus Mir falls apart and it's part of the Bellator heavyweight tournament, number one, it would be the most heavyweight MMA thing of all time, and number two, it would be so sad.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Mir by, knockout. It's a heavyweight fight. I mean, it could be Fedor. I don't know. I really don't know who to pick.
I think either is a fair pick at this point.
Yeah.
I'm going Mir knockout. I'm not convinced. I think both dudes are going to get wobbled in this fight.
Oh, they will.
Or if they don't, it's because one of them goes out before the other has a chance to get wobbled. I would love to see this fight go to the ground. However, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, neither do I.
The way these dudes throw, especially this late in their careers, man, I just see them both. I see it going like Mitrione and Fedor did, where they both come out, they both kind of throw giant bombs, and whoever happens to land one first wins.
Yep.
I'd love to see Fedor come out and hit a fucking double leg. Or one of those, he doesn't hit double legs, but one of the weird, body lock Sambo trips.
That'd be fun. I hope
Frank
to see it.
Work from guard. The only thing I worry about is if Frank does end up in guard, I worry about him going for a leg. because it seems like some shit he would do, and that seems like the one way that Fedor could definitely knock Frank Mir out, is if Frank's committing to a leg while Fedor starts pounding on him. But I don't know. I've been hearing good stuff about Frank lately, and that he's still working his ass off. Fedor's just been through so many wars. I just wonder where he's at this point. Because dude doesn't need money to fight anymore.
No, there's no way he does.
And he's coming off of he's coming off a lot of rough fights in a row.
Yep.
Like, his last win is Mabo Babo, which is not a win, really.
It was totally unexpected, if we must say.
Totally unexpected. God, I miss that guy. He mostly only does the Russian commentary now, which sucks. He's so much better. For some reason, I heard from, I believe it was Kareem and a couple other guys are like, he's really normal on the Russian commentary. I don't know why he hams it up so bad for the English one. He just talks totally normal for the Russian one. And he gets on the English, he's like, oh my god. They're totally unexpected.
He probably just learned his English watching TV shows. It's just hype on that.
Or Mauro Ranello.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I just need to do my best Mauro Ranello impression the entire time. Weird accent. Oh, that's great. Anyway, I'm going Frank Mir via KO, but no confidence at all in that pick. I am kind of excited for this card though, and for once it's not tape delayed, so thank God.
That's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, so I will hopefully be watching that on Friday. I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something on Friday, so hopefully I don't have to miss that. But it's Bellator, so worst case I can catch it the next day because they don't give a fuck about live views, clearly. That'll be fun. I'm excited for that. Also, we should shout out Kevin Lee was on Rogan's podcast this week, today actually, as we record this on Monday. So that was absolutely awesome episode. I highly recommend checking that out. Some other stuff to shout out since, again, we're not going to be doing a podcast recap this week. We're just going to be doing our commentary for the Kickboxer movie. I believe that also TJ DeSantis and Al Iaquinta put out Call Me Al episode 2.
Yep, I saw that.
That's out now. They're recording those on Mondays at 6 a.m. So if you want to call in and talk to Al, you got to be up at Monday at 6 a.m. on the West Coast or 9 a.m. on the East Coast. Let's see. Collapsed MMA is doing their part 2 for their Pride 2005 show. That should drop this week. David Bixenspan is going to be jumping on the Daily Wrap going forward and hosting that, which is the kind of news show that they do for TJ DeSantis' Between Rounds Patreon, which is pretty cool. The MMA Hour was really good so far, since we're recording this on Mondays. There's been 1 day's worth of shows, including a Leslie Smith interview that's really, really solid. And then MMA Junkie had Derek Lewis and Big John on, and that sounds like a show you should probably check out.
Cool. Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. And then also Shannon Knapp did mention on TJ's Patreon that they're going to be adding more than 3 cards for 2018, which they've been kind of teasing, but they just haven't announced yet. So that's cool. And they're going to announce an Invicta boxing card this year.
Ooh.
Like, it's expected to happen sometime this year, which is really cool.
Hell yeah, man. This should be dope.
Yeah, so I'm excited for all that, but that is going to be our quick recap show. Where are we at on time? How we do on this motherfucker? Yeah, just under an hour. What's good?
And then I'll just say one last thing before I go. For anyone following Colby Covington on Twitter or Instagram, probably best to block him this week because Avengers Infinity War is coming out, and who knows if he's going to spoil that. I'm just giving a heads up to all those people out there who are going to see that.
That's hilarious, and that's probably a really good tip, because that probably is going to be a problem.
Yeah, because I'm definitely going to see it probably with my mom. She loves those movies a lot. I used to be a huge comic book nerd when I was in middle school. I kind of like seeing that shit on screen. So I'll probably block him temporarily for the next week and a half. You could probably just
block him permanently and not miss out on much.
You know what? That's actually the right call. So
yeah. No, I mean, if you want to listen to terrible terrible Doug Crosby writing, you can probably just listen to Chael's podcast.
Yeah, good point.
All right, well, we will wrap this show here, but you guys can find us on Twitter, TSOV Pod. If you guys get a chance, if you could like us on subscribe, like the video and subscribe on YouTube, subscribe to us on iTunes, Amazon. We're not on Amazon. Stitcher, Google Play. I think we're on Stitcher finally. No, wait, we're on Stitcher. I think we're finally on. Where did I apply to? Spotify or something? I don't know. I'm working on shit. Wherever you listen to the podcast, subscribe on there. Give us a rating. It does help us out. And yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap this there. But Chris, have you anything else you want to shout out?
No, man. I think that's gonna do it for me. This was a fun recap, and I enjoyed this card, and look forward to Bellator and the next UFC card.
Absolutely, man. So everybody go enjoy Bellator on Saturday, not Friday this week, which is kind of weird. I just realized that's the case, so that'll be interesting. And oh shit, this is going to be happening when we're doing our commentary. Maybe we'll start the commentary late so we can watch Fedor versus Mir. But check out our commentary later in the week of Kickboxer Retaliation. I'm sure that movie will be totally quality since it no longer has GSP in it. And that was one of the redeeming qualities. Also, I think Gina Carano might be gone too. I don't want to ruin all of this for you guys, but it sounds not as good. But there's supposed to be more fighters, I think. So check that out this week and hit us up. Till next time, everybody, go do something decadent. We out. Bye.